Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I am reviewing an independent horror film directed by Jake C. Young, and it runs for 1 hour and 23 minutes, and it is called Soul's Chapel, and it has just recently been released. So let's go and have a look at the trailer.
What do they say about this place? What have you heard?
You saw one of them, didn't you? On the way in. The Lady Crow Killer. Dark Witch.
There's something really wrong with this place.
This place isn't safe.
It's coming, and you're all going to die.
The sun shines bright on my Kentucky lawn.
So there you have the trailer. So the storyline goes, when the drifter is cutting through the backwoods of Kentucky in search of gold, he decides to weather the snowstorm in a small church called Soul's Chapel. But we'll soon find out that fate awaits him is anything but holy. So in the backwoods of Kentucky, there's something strange and sinister happening. The introduction scene is very powerful. It's a very powerful way to start the film. Not only is the atmosphere brilliantly captured within the creepy setting, but the music is synced perfectly with each dramatic action, heralded in with an orchestra of high-pitched strings, deep riveting, elaborate textures that immediately pulled me in. And I would hope this would maintain the tension it is building. Did it meet my expectations? Well, for the most part, it did. This is definitely a slow burn after what happened in the introduction scene. So the pace slowed down as the setting up of what is happening proceeds to present us with the fact that this is a post-apocalyptic film, and as we journey with Ray, aka the Drifter, played by the director himself, J.C. Young, who has a contract to fulfill with Mephisto. After the Drifter comes across an artifact that links directly back to Soul's Chapel in an interesting way. Now Ray is on a mission because he wants the only valuable thing in this new world, which is gold. So Mephisto, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He offers gold coins to persuade Ray. But when Ray touches the coin, something intriguing happens to him that becomes very crucial in the film later on. So when he finally makes it to the church, and it looks like a horror place out in the middle of nowhere, when he enters the grounds, there is one of the guardians of the church, the woman in white, who is holding the talisman he's been contracted to find. But it's an illusion, and as we progress through the film, there are many of these almost surreal moments happening. So upon entering the church, he is met with unusual people. So there's a priest named Red, a woman called Agatha, an aggressive character called Jim, and a boy, Danny, they call the schoolboy, and they are acting very suspiciously. It is revealed there's treasure hidden somewhere in the church, which takes us back to the intro scene when we saw the priest hiding the treasure chest. They don't believe Ray when he says he doesn't want the treasure because he's only there to find the black token so that he can get the gold. So this definitely had a steampunk vibe coming in when we see what the costumes and their weapons. So this goes with the post-apocalyptic theme, obviously. So unfortunately for Ray, he's captured and kept in the basement with a couple of priests. So this is ruining any of his chances at accessing the talisman, which is a good dilemma so that we can see how the protagonist how he handles himself in a crisis. Sadly, nothing really substantial happens until we get 50 minutes into the film. That is when it all ramps up. Secrets are revealed and the tables are turned in favor of Ray in a way. But the question is, will he be able to complete his mission, or are the obstacles in his way too great? The ending was nicely played insofar as to say that it's good enough ending to finish the film, and there are some good resolutions. Overall, like I said, it's a slow burn. So if you're into these types of films with the setting up and the getting the story in line and all that sort of stuff with a post-apocalyptic theme, then you might enjoy this one. For me, I think it took too long to build up to the climaxes. Sure, there are some killing scenes and demonic characters, but is it enough to carry the film? I think it was, and the storyline remained intact. The plot was good enough, but this could have been a little shorter, in my opinion. The music pieces were obviously made for the film, which is really good foresight. And I guess it goes to show that after the apocalypse, everyone is out for themselves and there is no loyalty in such a savage environment. And this film portrays that really well. The acting was good and they took to their roles with total dedication, and well done. And I look forward to watching more from this director, Jake C. Young, in the future. It's another example of an indie film doing what they do best, and that is creating visions, a film from visions within this director's mind, and it comes onto the screen, transfers over quite well. It's a little bit of a slow film before the action actually kicks in, which was it was okay, but it was a little bit disappointing as well because the introduction scene had such a massive impact. It set up the story really well. And basically it's good enough to watch. I don't know when this is going to become available. I got to screen a copy, but I will keep you up to date and let you know when it is available to watch. I got to see it on Vimeo, so maybe that is going to be the way it goes. So yeah. So yeah, this was a little different, I have to say. I'm quite used to getting films that are quite fast paced, and so when a film, like I said, this is it's nearly an hour and a half long. I think I just get a little bit disappointed when there's a whole, to probably took about 40-50 minutes until the action came in. So I'm not too sure if there's a lot of fluffing around, or if there was just too much setting up. But like I said, it's a slow burn, so some people enjoy things like that. So anyway, that was my review of Soul's Chapel, directed by Jake C. Young, and it runs for an hour and 23 minutes. And yeah, that has been my review for this week. And until next time, stay safe out there, take care, be kind, and bye for now.